Hello, everyone. I think it's pretty clear to anyone in the class that's currently up to date with the book that Schultz is an amazing leader. Hopefully, by the time I finish this, I can convince you that he is. So, I think the very first thing that people need to realize is everyone has someone that they want to look up to in life, whether it's a leader in the past, or a parent, or a brother. Most people will have someone that they look up to as a leader. And I think that many people did look up to Schultz the way that many people look up to maybe their boss nowadays if they are a strong leader. A good example, I think, was when he decided to do the marketing campaign and hand out free coffee across the USA. The reason I think that showed that people looked up to him is because that actually worked as a campaign for the marketing, and a lot of people respected him that he handed out free coffee and not just discounted it. So that just showed right away that he is a good leader. Another thing is he used more of a collaboration type leadership versus authoritarian. So the main thing that most people think when they think of authoritarian is a dictator, which is pretty true. And collaboration is very opposite of that. They use mainly function and strong organization, which clearly Schultz has, considering he has now one of the largest businesses on probably the earth. And I think the best example with this is when he actually brought in the idea of the loyalty card. The reason that is because that wasn't just for revenue, that was to build a stronger customer base, but also a bond between the customers. It wasn't just about the revenue. He actually did care that the customers did get a good cup of coffee and that they would come back even more happy. And I think if he was an authoritarian, I think it would show, considering he would just be money hungry. And most leaders that are money hungry don't make the best leader, and it's very obvious that that's all that they care about is the money and not actually the customers, which unfortunately we do see a lot of nowadays in most businesses. Another thing is I think he uses reason versus emotion very, very well. And I think it's pretty clear that most good leaders nowadays or back then in history used more of a reason versus letting their emotions get the best of them. And I think in a big business such as this, it's more logical to make strong business choices with reason versus emotion. You can look at hard data versus just what your gut's telling you. And I think the best example was at the very beginning when he actually shut down all the stores for a day. I think that just showed that although he was going to, of course he was upset that he had to do it, he was going to lose a lot of revenue, and that he was going to get absolutely destroyed by the media and most loyal customers. I think by doing that, it did show that he had strong reasoning to do it, and I think it paid off in the long run. Also, I want to say that he actually uses charisma way better than most leaders nowadays, and I think it is better for the company because if you have ever noticed, usually Starbucks aren't hiring because many people go there before that even happens. They like applying there because they know that it starts from the top and it trickled down. Therefore, since he has such strong charisma, people are definitely willing to go and work with him. And I think that showed also when he went to New Orleans and had the big conference there. It wasn't just about the conference and bettering the company, it was also helping out New Orleans after the Hurricane Katrina, which he definitely didn't have to do. He could have easily flown somewhere cheaper, probably Seattle where he was located, but he knew that this was the right thing to do, and that just showed strong charisma. Last thing I want to touch on is the main characteristic I think that he has as a leader, which I think is hardworking, and with that, never giving up. So by him coming back to the company, that just showed that no matter what, he was there to win it. He wanted the company to succeed, not just for the revenue. He cared about how it did. He cared that the customers had the best cup of coffee that they could get, and that it really came from a hard worker. And honestly, I'm pretty sure anyone can justify after reading it, he did whatever it took to make sure that the customer was happy. Hopefully by now I convinced you or persuaded you that Schultz is an amazing leader. Thank you.